So we're going to be moving forward here, and we're going to start putting some beams on this. So to get some beams, if you remember, we have to go over to beam on here. And I don't have any options for my beams here. So I'm going to go to custom. And again, we got to go to start or select part profile. We have to make a profile here. So we are going to go new part studio. And I'm going to pick top plane and do a sketch. And I'm going to pick center point rectangle. Because remember, so basically what's happening is wherever the origin is where this timber will come into play. So we want it right in the center of the timber. And we're going to set the dimensions. At an 1/8 inch, or so 1 divided by 8. And 1 divided by 8, which is 0.125. And my sketch, I'm going to hit the check. My profile here, my sketch profile, instead of just leaving it named sketch 1, we're going to rename it and we're going to go 1/8 inch x 1/8 inch. An inch is the quotation mark. And this part studio we're going to rename, and we're going to call it profiles. Profiles inch by an inch and 1/8. So we created that piece. So now we're back to our bridge. Sorry, I'm onto my part studio 1. I'm going to rename part studio 1 while I'm at it. I'm going to call it truss. Just going to help us keep track, because you're going to see we have lots of stuff down here. So we have that created as a truss. So now we're going to start adding beams to this thing. So add a beam. Lines are arcs. And I'm going to start up here, 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 and here. And I'm kind of doing the outside ring. Okay. I want to go to custom profile. It's giant right now because, of course, it goes to that one thing. And I'm going to go to my profiles and the 1/8 inch by an 1/8 inch. And you can see the profile showed up here. Pretty good. And I'm actually going to leave it on the center. It's going to help out just to leave it on the center and work our way through that. Now, if I come down here, I first of all want to click merge because that's going to stick them all together. But I also want to hit, on this one here, I want these to all look correct. Okay? So I'm going to uncheck merge for a second. And I'm going to hit vertices for butt joints. Yes, yes, yes. You can laugh now because I just said butt. And I can see what it's going to look like and see if I like it. I don't really care for that one. And it's really kind of fighting me as far as which way it's going to look the best. So I can take that off. And I'm just going to know to kind of cheat that a little bit. Vertice for miter joint. This one is a miter joint. So this one, both the angles come together. I do know I want that to be a miter joint. And I'm going to hit the check mark. And I have my first piece of my truss done. Now I'm going to make a next beam. I click on beam again. I wish I could default this, but I can't. And I'm going to come here and here and here and here and here and here. And I'm going to hit custom, profiles again, and I can see them all come into play there. I like that. Now this one I'm going to hit trim. Planar faces to trim. I want to trim to the bottom of this, and you'll see it cut them all off. I want to trim to the bottom of this, and you'll see it cut them off. I want to trim to the bottom of this, and you'll see it cut them off. And I want to trim to this planar face, and it cuts them off. Hit the green check. And now I have my internal pieces of my truss there. Continuing to move forward here. I'm going to work on my bottom piece. I'm going to do the same thing. Come down here. Custom profile. I'm going to vertices for miter joints right there. And then this one here, because I already have this on here, I can trim off here and it'll give me that piece. Green check. Now it's coming to these pieces. Beam. And you can see this process goes about the same. If something's not working like you expect it to, you can do one beam at a time. That's perfectly acceptable. I'm just kind of showing you how to do multiple beams at a time, but it's perfectly acceptable to do one beam at a time. I'm going to trim these off again right here, and again right here and here. So you can see what that trim is doing is it's cutting that's going past there, and it's getting it set up nice for me. Then I'm going to hit the green check. I now have half of my truss. And really, I cut it in half this way, they got the other half, and we're ready to go. We're going to start doing our mirror and our Boolean operations. Goofy word, say it, Boolean. Try not to laugh when you're saying it, Boolean. All right, next video, we're showing off the Boolean.